welcome to Baker's Green Acres. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about bringing our chickens out to the field and operating our tractors. Alright, we showed you a little bit of the brooder. We normally keep them in there for about 3 weeks in the summertime, a little longer in the fall. But eventually we come out to the field and we put them in chicken tractors. This is a chicken tractor. Can you get a picture of that? Alright, now the chicken tractor is 10 wide, 12 long, gives us 120 square feet. We put 75 birds in each tractor, between its 70 and 75. Alright, we'll give you 5 plus or minus, maybe 65. 65 to 75. 75 is what we put in. We bring them out in groups of 75, so we know we've got 75 in each one. Alright, we're going to cover another day of bringing them out and putting them in. But today is October 20th about. We like to be off the field by the end of October, middle to the end of October, because it starts getting cold here. Right now it's beautiful. It's 55 degrees and it's still and beautiful sun out. So today's a good day for growing chickens, but on a cold, rainy day, chickens don't grow too well when they're outside. We've got a tarp over about 3/4 of this. Now, mainly what that's for is to keep the sun off the birds in the summertime. You know, it works for rain too, but when birds get big enough, rain doesn't really bother them. It just kind of rolls off. But they will get under and stay out of the rain if it's there. But this is mainly a sun cover. This is just a cheapo tarp. I think we pay about 15 bucks a piece for those things, and we usually get 2 or 3 years out of them. Right? It's stretched over the top. In another video, we're gonna cover construction of a chicken tractor. But today, we just want to talk about operations and the components of this. All right. So this is made with chicken wire. We use pressure-treated 1x4s to build the frames out of. We use screws and construction adhesive to make a good joints. And you know, we build them in pieces, in components, and then we put the components together. So we'll have a building day where we'll build a whole bunch of sides, and then we'll build a whole bunch of fronts, a whole bunch of tops, and we'll put them together. That's kind of how we do it. Now, the way this works is we have a skid positioned at the back here. We call this a shoe, and it's got a little piece of PVC pipe on the bottom of it, just like a ski, and that gives us a little bit of slide. And then to operate this, we have a rope in front like this, very simple, and the operator picks it up and moves it like that. Now what we got going on now is this tractor hasn't been used in a few weeks, and the grass has grown up underneath it, so it's moving a little bit slow. In a case with deep grass, sometimes you have to have somebody at the back to kind of break it loose. But normally they move along very, very easily. And the birds, they get used to it, and it bumps into them. Sometimes they get their legs under it, but generally they get used to it and they'll move forward. One of the reasons that they move forward is because we're opening up new ground to them. And part of the pasture poultry discipline is to train the birds to eat this. And this is our forage. Now this field has clover, alfalfa, timothy grass, and orchard grass. And then there's various weeds. And who knows what all of those are? I really don't. But the birds know what they need instinctively, and they can get it off of this field. Growing a bird is essentially assembling nutrients into the form of a chicken. That's really what it's all about. And the chicken is put together to know what it needs to make a good, healthy body for itself. It's an instinctive thing. If we provide it with good forage, good sunlight like this, which they need, plenty of fresh air, we get a really decent bird out of it. Really decent. Probably the best. Okay, so the tractor performs two functions for us mainly. It contains the birds, and it helps us to keep the birds where we want them. If I had 75 birds out here, they would probably stay very close to the feeder and the water, and we'd have a big bare spot around that, and that wouldn't be good. They'd kill the soil, or they'd kill the foliage there, and ultimately that would affect the soil, and then we'd have runaway weed growth and stuff like that. This way here, we can move this tractor every day, and we provide them with fresh forage, and we put their manure behind them. They're not real smart, and when it's time to eat, they're going to eat what's available. It's their manure, they will eat it. So we want them to be off of their manure, if possible. And we also want the manure dispersed evenly on the field for maximum effect on the forages. We don't use fertilizer here at Baker's Green Acres, we never have. And we have some very, very rich, dense forages growing because we disperse this manure correctly. There's something about the manure leaving the chicken and going right to the ground that's special. And I'm not sure what it is, but I know that when we have manure build up on concrete, let's say in the clear span, and we bring it out and we spread it, or when we used to do that, it would affect the field adversely, to say the least. We could burn it bad and really have some problems. But no matter how much manure we get on this field, if it's coming right from the chicken, right to the field always seems to recover from it. Now, I want to show you a couple of spots that, if you were doing this, might alarm you. Okay, so follow me. What we have here is the path that this chicken tractor has traveled. That's an empty tractor right now because we've taken the birds out late in the season. But it did travel down this way before we emptied it out. That was just emptied last week, by the way, just last weekend. Today's Saturday, so about a week ago. Now you can see this looks kind of bare in here, and it might kind of alarm you. But if you can swing that camera around 180 degrees and point that way and look at the foliage, you see that field looks very nice. Very nice. The clovers have come back, the alfalfa's coming up, and they have a nice thick layer of this organic manure that's just sitting there waiting to be utilized. So all we really needed was a couple sunny days and some good rain. We got the rain over the last 3 days. I would reckon in about a week this is all going to be filled in and just beautiful, nice and lush. Now in the fall, late fall, when the rest of the field is turned brown, wherever these tractors have traveled that year, it stays bright green. As a matter of fact, we have snow falling on bright green grass here. Hence Baker's Green Acres. Okay, let's go back over here. I want to show you a couple other components to the tractor system. Alright, so some of the components that you need for a tractor system like this, you got to have something to put their feed in. They're going to derive a lot of their feed from the field. I don't know what the percentage is. I've read anywhere between 5 and 20. I really don't know. I know they eat everything that's there. It'd be interesting sometime to go with a lawnmower and mow it off and then weigh it, but I haven't done that yet. So you will need a feeder. Like a lot of things that we've done here, we've experimented with different equipment, and this is what we come up with. This is the feeder that we use. We build these right here. It's just built out of pine. We can power wash this, and we can sanitize it with a Clorox solution at the beginning and the end of the seasons before we put them away. This is about the right size. This is 5 feet long, and we use an 8-inch board on the bottom. It gives us a trough about 6 inches wide, and I can get plans for these out to anybody that needs them. It's really pretty simple. But what we're looking for in a feeding system is we want the last grain of feed to be eaten just as we're stepping out here with the next pile of feed. We feed the birds twice a day, move them once a day. So When we come out to feed them, we want that last piece of feed just being eaten off of here, because we don't want buildup of feed in the bottom of the trough. It's unsanitary. So this is about the size that we think seems to work the best for 75 birds. And we fill this right to the top. It'll take a 5-gallon bucket of feed, almost level to the top. 75 birds would go through that twice a day. Yeah, they eat a lot of feed. Okay, so you will need a feeder. And then